Today I would like to discuss about Soora-e-Fatiha, which is known to be Soora-e-Hamd. This surah is very important surah. The verses I have recited and the tarjuma and translation is well known to you. This surah, Soora-e-Hamd, there are many names of this surah. Like for example, according to the narration of Imam alayhi salatu wasalam, this surah is known to be Ummul Kitab. Soora-e-Hamd is known to be Ummul Kitab. Ummul Quran, Sab'i Mathani Fatihatul Kitab, the beginner of the book, Fatihatul Kitab. And that's why there is a narration in which Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did himself call this surah, Soora-e-Hamd, Fatihatul Kitab. There is a narration which says, La salata illa bi Fatihatul Kitab. There is no salat without Fatihatul Kitab. If someone is reciting salat, for example, someone is reciting namaz, of course, either mustahab or wajib namaz, they should recite Soora-e-Hamd within namaz, because there is no concept of salat without this surah. So we can understand the importance of this surah according in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So this surah was named Fatihatul Kitab. Fatiha means the beginner of the book, the beginner of the book. With this surah we begin the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Fatihatul Kitab, this surah was called by Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. So that means the Quran was compiled at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself. Because there are different opinions who compile, who gather Quran Majid. There are different opinions about that within Muslim Ummah. Some of them they say Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he did compile. Some of them they say declare that Ali ibn Abi Talib compiled Quran. Some of them they say no, the compilation of Quran was done by Uthman bin Affan. So of course, in first stage, the best opinion according to Shia thought is one, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam he himself compiled Quran Majid, because Rasulullah he is the one who got the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the form of Quran. So if we say Rasulullah did not compile Quran Majid, which means he was not much responsible. And according to the narration, we understand that Rasulullah was very much specific where to put which surah and where to put which verse of Quran. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam he used to guide people to compile the Quran Majid. And according to the narrations which we have, at his own time, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam once he asked Ali ibn Abi Talib alaihi salatu wasalam to gather Quran Majid and put surahs of the Quran in sequence, and Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam did that. Salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So which means when we call Soora-e-Hamd Fatihatul Kitab, which means the Quran Majid was in the form of book compiled within the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's why he called this surah Fatihatul Kitab, which means at the time of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he was alive, when they used to start recitation of Quran, they used to start with Soora-e-Hamd and Soora-e-Baqarah. And now when we say that Rasulullah himself compiled Quran Majid, so what are the different opinions? Why we say Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam he did compile after Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Because Shia they believe that Ali ibn Abi Talib compiled Quran Majid, while we are saying Rasulullah he himself did the compilation. He did compile himself. So when we say, for example, Ali ibn Abi Talib compiled Quran after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he put 6 months of him towards compiling Quran, it is right. But the Quran which was gathered by Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam was same Quran which was gathered at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What is the difference? Difference is Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam compiled after Rasulullah. The Quran which he compiled was with tafsir and shan-e-nuzul. With tafsir and shan-e-nuzul. Otherwise, the Quran Majid was compiled at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself. Salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So according to us, the Quran was compiled by Rasulullah upon his command at the time of when he was alive, and after him Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam added the tafsir and shan-e-nuzul. When ashab of Rasulullah did not accept the Quran of Ali ibn Abi Talib, at that point Muslim Ummah ashab they gathered and they started compiling Quran. And there were different versions of Quran, like for example, especially when it came to qira'ats. So people, they used to recite Quran in different ways. So until the time of Uthman bin Affan, because there were many different qira'at of Quran. Quran was one, with recitation, the style of recitation. Some of them, they used to recite, like for example, let me give an example, Maliki Yawmiddin, others Maliki Yawmiddin, for example. So at the time of Uthman bin Affan, they said the Quran should be recited in one way which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed. That's why they gather all Quran, and with the opinion of even Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, Uthman bin Affan, he got opinion from Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, and Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, when they compile Quran Majid with one qira'ah, they approve that Quran as well. Salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So as being Shia, we believe the Quran which we have, it was the same at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Soora-e-Hamd, one of the names of Surah is Fatihatul Kitab. The other name is Ummul Kitab. Ummul Kitab. This Soora-e-Hamd is known to be Ummul Kitab, which means mother of the book. If you want to translate, the base and foundation of the Quran is Soora-e-Hamd. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says in one of the narrations to Jabir ibn Abdullah Ansari, Ala u'allimukum afdala suratin anzalahu Allah fi kitabih. O Jabir, do you want me to inform you about the best surah, afdal surah of Quran? Qala lahu Jabir, Bala bi abi anta ummi ya Rasulullah. My father and mother be sacrificed upon you, O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Please teach me the best verse, best surah of Quran. Then Rasulullah fa'allamahu al-hamd al-kitab. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught him surah which is known to be Hamd al-kitab. So according to this narration of Quran, alayhi salatu wasalam, Jabir ibn Abdullah Ansari, we understand that the other name of this surah is Ummul Kitab. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says there are a lot of fala'il hidden within this surah, Soora-e-Hamd. It is very important surah only. He says, Walladhi nafsi biyadeh, I swear to the Lord who holds my nafs. Ma anzalallahu fi tawrati wala fi zabur wala fi al-Qur'ani mithlaha. There is no surah such as Ummul Kitab, Soora-e-Hamd, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed within Tawrat or Injil or Zabur. There is no surah such as Suratul Hamd within this book. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed Soora-e-Hamd within Quran upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So why this surah is Ummul Kitab? The base and the foundation of the book. Base and foundation of the book. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala summarized all of Quran Majid within this surah. Like for example, you can learn about Tawheed Zat. It is explained in Surah-e-Hamd. Inshallah we will discuss about it. Tawheed Sifat. In Tawheed, in the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah mentioned also Tawheed Sifat within Surah-e-Hamd. Tawheed Af'al. Tawheed in the actions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Tawheed Af'al, it is also mentioned in Soora-e-Hamd. Tawheed Ibadat, we say Iyyaka na'budu wa Iyyaka nasta'in, it is also mentioned within this surah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also explained about the day of judgment. He spoke about Tawheed and this world, Rabbul Alameen, He is Rabbul Alameen for example. So about all universes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke in this surah. And about the day of judgment, Maliki Yawmiddin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke. And there are two types of people, blessed one, an'amta alayhim, or there are other people, ghayril maghdub people, like for example, upon them astray of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they went astray. So of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about everything and summarized everything within Soora-e-Hamd. That's why this surah is known to be foundation and base of Quran Majid, Ummul Kitab. Salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. That's why even if you recite, for example, if you are reciting Soora-e-Hamd, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you with the thawab of a recitation of 2/3 of Quran. Rasulullah says, أيما مسلم قرأ فاتحة الكتاب أعطي من الأجر كأنما قرأ ثلثي القرآن. If you recite Soora-e-Hamd, it is like you have recited 2/3 of the Quran. 2/3 of the Quran. وأعطي من الأجر كأنما تصدق على كل مؤمن ومؤمنة. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also reward him with the thawab of a man who gave gift to every mu'min and mu'minah on earth. Every mu'min and mu'minah. If you are reciting once Soora-e-Hamd, Kitab, Fatihatul Kitab, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you with the thawab. First thawab is 2/3 of the Quran, recitation of 2/3 of Quran, and it is like the thawab of the person who gifted to every mu'min and mu'minah on earth with a gift. Salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. 2/3 of the Quran. And that's why Fatihatul Kitab, Kitab, Soora-e-Hamd also was given the name of Sab'a Mathani. Sab'a Mathani. This surah, the other name of Soora-e-Hamd is what? Sab'a Mathani. Sab'a Mathani means there are 7 verses. Among them is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim as well. Within this surah, there are 7 verses. And this name was given to Soora-e-Hamd within Quran by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When he says, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِ وَالْقُرْآنِ الْعَظِيمِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, we have revealed upon you, O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, 7 verses of Quran.